If we met for a coffee and you ask me, Francisco, how can I lose weight as fast as possible? This is exactly what I would tell you to do. So what I would suggest is either save this video or just grab a pen and a paper and take some notes. These are 10 points that I'm gonna clarify. I'm not gonna give a lot of details. I just want to give you some actionable steps in order for you to start implementing right away. So write them down in order for you not to forget. So without further ado, the number one thing that you need to do is you wake up and you hydrate. Personally, when I wake up, I drink 1 liter of water. Of course, not at once. I drink 1 liter of water within the first hour of the day. So the first 15 minutes, I drink at least half a liter of water, and I put a little bit of pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt with some drops of lemon. Your body, after 7-8 hours sleep or 6 hours, not ideal, is highly dehydrated. So that's the first thing that you want to do, is hydrate with water. By the way, not with caffeine. I know a lot of people that go straight to the coffee. You want to delay caffeine consumption at least 60 to 90 minutes upon waking up. So you wake up, you hydrate water with Celtic sea salt or pink Himalayan salt with a little bit of lemon. The second thing that you want to do is fast the first 3 to 4 hours of the day. You don't need to wake up and eat straight away, because most of the time, if you wake up hungry, that's probably a sign of dehydration. And again, if you correct for the point number one that I just told you, you wake up and you drink water, then you're not going to feel hungry. Hydrate, and you want as well in these 3 or 4 hours get some movement. You don't need to work out at this time. If you prefer to work out later in the day, that's totally fine, but you want to get some movement. So make the most of this fasting window by going for a walk. Just go for a walk, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes in a fat burning state, hydrated. That's what you want to do. You're going to maximize fat burning. You're going to prime your body to mobilize fatty acids. Your body will tap directly into the fat store. So remain fasted the first 3 or 4 hours of the day. If you want to extend it even a little bit more, 5 hours. You don't need more than that. I would say the sweet spot, 3 to 4 hours for most people. So for example, if you wake up, let's say at 6, don't eat until 9. Or if you wake up at 5:30, don't eat until 8:30. You just want to have water, black coffee, and tea. That's it. No cappuccinos, no lattes, no flat white, nothing. Just black coffee, tea, or water with electrolyte. Also, the fact that you're not going to eat the first 3 to 4 hours of the day, you're going to decrease slightly your insulin levels, which is key for you to lose fat. You need to understand the role of insulin. So the more you eat, the more you spike your insulin. That means the more you're going to store fat. So by fasting the first 3 to 4 hours of the day, you keep your insulin levels low, which promotes better fat loss. Which brings me to point number 3, which is somehow related to point number 2, which is when you're fasting, you want to get some movement. So don't just go straight to the desk and work and blue light. Like, try to get some movement, at least 20 minutes. I personally love deep work sessions in the morning when I'm primed, but I get some movement. I don't wake up and go straight to that. I like to get some movement, hydration, 20-minute walk to prime my body, to reset my mind, to even improve my focus. Try to get 20-minute walk, preferably getting morning sunlight without sunglasses. So why is this important? Because when you're walking outside and you have direct sunlight exposure, you basically release a bit more cortisol, the good one. So cortisol is not always bad. So in this case, it's going to promote wakefulness. That means you're going to be awake, and it's going to regulate your circadian rhythm. By regulating your circadian rhythm, basically everything will fall in place. You're going to have more energy throughout the day. You're not going to have energy crash mid-afternoon. And as well, at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., like when the sun goes down, you start to get a little bit sleepier. You're going to sleep better. So don't underestimate this habit of movement with morning sunlight, 15 to 20 minutes, no sunglasses. Expose your body. It will regulate your hormones, your energy, and your mood. Which brings me to point number 4, which is how you're going to break the fast after 3 or 4 hours. You want to break the fast with only protein and fats, no carbs. Absolutely no carbs. Why? Because carbs spike your insulin. If you're spiking your insulin, that means after 30 minutes, 60 minutes, you're probably going to have energy crash, and it's not going to satiate you. And probably you're just going to sit and get some work done. You don't need carbs. You need carbs around the workout timing. That means if you're going to work out, eat carbs after the workout. If you work out, for example, let's say at 12 or 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. or something, it depends, like whenever the time after the workout, because your body will make use of those carbs. Now, when you break the fast, you want high protein, moderate fat, low carb or minimal carb, such as eggs, avocado, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, sauerkraut for gut health, some, I don't know, pomegranate. You can add some berries. This is all good sources of carbs. You can add some vegetables, mix some vegetables, or even some fruits, it's fine. So when I say carbs, is fruits and vegetables are fine. When I say cut carbs, is bread, rice, pasta, cookies, bagels, these kind of things, and sugary drinks. So you want to cut completely carbs. And for example, if you go to work at 9 a.m. and you should be breaking the fast at that time, just take it with you. Take it with you, a small container, boil some eggs. It's super easy. You can prepare this in 10 minutes. I literally did this yesterday. I got some blood work, as you probably can see. I don't know if you can see here. I got blood work done yesterday, and that's exactly what I did. So I didn't eat before, so I fasted. I woke up at 5:30, and then at 8, I prepared my breakfast. It took me like 12 minutes. Boil some eggs, and then one container, sauerkraut, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, some pomegranates, and that's it, and avocado as well, and half avocado. And then I took it with me and I broke the fast after I got the blood work done. So it's super easy, sustainable. And what's gonna happen is that you're gonna eat this and you're gonna feel like super sharp. It's gonna fuel your muscles. You're not gonna feel any energy crash. You're not gonna crave anything else for hours because it's gonna satiate you and it's not gonna spike your insulin level. So remember, you want to break the fast with high protein, moderate fat, low carb, which brings me to point number 5, which is walk 10 to 15 minutes after a meal. So this is a non-negotiable. You eat, you walk. If you have 3 meals per day, you get 10-minute walk, basically you have 30-minute walk there. So just avoid eating and sitting. So when you eat, do something like, if you cannot go for a walk next to the beach, you don't need, that's why I'm saying this is sustainable, because you eat and then you move. Like if you need to do calls or something, just walk around, just don't sit, move. Even if you need to stand, just standing burns more calories than just sitting. So just at least stand. Okay, so the last thing that you want to do is to sit. So even if you can get a standing desk or a treadmill under the desk, or just move, or worst case, if you cannot walk anywhere and if you need to stay in the same place, just do, for example, 2 sets of 10 squats and some push-ups. Very simple. What you want is basically to activate your muscles, because when you activate your muscles after the meal, it's going to decrease your insulin and it's going to burn glucose. And besides that, it's going to facilitate gastric emptying, which is improved digestion. Because if you eat and you sit, inevitably that food will sit in your stomach and your body is not going to make use of it. So at least get some movement, like 10 push-ups, 15 squats, or some lunges. It's fine. I mean, any kind of movement, or just stand or walk a bit for 10 minutes ideally. You're going to feel way better, no energy crash, you're going to burn more fat, and again, you're going to burn more calories. What it means is that if you get 10 or 15 minute walk after meals, you're burning easily 100 to 200 calories extra. That means if you get 3 walks after the meals, you're burning 300, 400, perhaps even 500 calories extra just by moving after meals. So implement this and you will see a big difference. Which brings me to point number 6, which is somehow related to what I told before, which is commit to 10 to 12,000 steps per day. Now, I know most guidelines will say 7 to 10,000 or 8,000 is a sweet spot. It's totally fine. 8,000 steps is enough. What I'm saying is, if you want to try to boost even a little bit more, you can always walk a little bit more. Okay, so perhaps you're not aware of that, but again, as I mentioned, you don't need to sit all the time. Like if you have meetings, or if you're on the phone, try to get some movement, try to walk. Like it's so easy to accumulate steps. Like you walk in a fasted state in the morning, you get 3 meals, you walk 10 minutes after meals. Then in the evening, extend a little bit more, you walk 15 or 20 minutes. So you can do this. It's not as difficult as it sounds. And again, the more you walk, the more margin you have to eat the foods that you love. Why? Because it burns calories effortlessly. And why do I say walk and not run? Because you can walk as much as you can, and walking is not going to increase your cortisol, and it's not going to give impact on your body, and it's not going to increase your appetite as well. And the problem with running, for example, if you get 10,000 steps but running, or 12,000 steps or 15,000 running, the problem is that it's going to crush your joints, it's going to affect lean muscle mass as well, it's going to increase your cortisol level, leading to more fat accumulation, and it's going to mess up with your hunger hormones. What it means is that you're going to crave a lot of food, you're going to feel like super hungry, and you're going to basically ruin the calories that you burned during that session. So that's why, for example, 1 hour running and 1 hour walking, of course you're going to burn more calories 1 hour running, but you're not burning more fat, because you can walk as much as you can, like all the time, in a sustainable way, keeping you sharper without increasing your hunger hormones or cortisol, but running, it's going to crush that. It's going to crush your cortisol, it's going to crush your testosterone levels. It's not what you want. So of course, if you want to run, that's fine. Maybe once a week or twice a week, a long run or a high intensity session, 10, 15, 20 minutes. But you want to prioritize walking and not running. Which brings me to point number 7, which is strength training. You don't need to train as much as you think you need to build muscle. It's crucial for your fat loss journey because muscle will basically burn more calories while you rest. When you're doing cardio, you're burning calories in that moment, you're not building muscle. That means your body is releasing more cortisol, decreasing testosterone, and inevitably you're gonna burn muscle. If you prioritize strength training, building muscle, like think big movements like squats, deadlifts, split squats, Bulgarian split squats, like shoulder presses, bench presses, barbell rows or single arm rows, like these compound movements that involve big muscle groups, you're not only increasing growth hormone and testosterone, you're burning more calories as well. Okay, so super important. Doing strength training will increase your caloric expenditure. That means you're going to burn more calories while you rest, and it's not going to increase massively your cortisol. That's why I'm telling you to train 3 days a week and not 5 or 6 days a week. If you focus on the other steps that I told you before and you do smart strength training sessions, that will be more than enough because you want to prioritize recovery. And again, if you do excessive strength training, it's the same. It's going to spike your cortisol. You're not going to recover properly. You're basically going to destroy muscle. You're going to feel like under-recovered. So that's not what you want. If you train in a smart way, and when I say train in a smart way, it's not go to the gym and sit on a chest press machine and do a couple of reps, and then you sit on a row machine and you do 10 reps, and then you rest, and then you do a couple of planks. It's very dynamic. You go to the gym, you train with intention, like you go all in 40-45 minutes and you're done. You do some squats, and then you do some bench press, superset, and then you do split squats, and then you do shoulder press, superset as well. This will crush your body in a good way. Why? Because you're going to burn a lot of calories, going to release growth hormone, testosterone. The next day you rest, you get your steps, 10-12,000 steps. You focus on your protein, on your sunlight, on your hydration, on your stress levels. This is basically what I call the minimal effective dose approach. What is it? It's basically what's the minimum that you need to do in order to get the maximum results. Which brings me to point number 8, which is manage your stress. Stress is one of the biggest killers nowadays, not only in terms of health, but also in terms of body composition. Stress crushes your sleep, crushes your body, makes you accumulate more fat, destroys muscles. So you want to manage your cortisol levels. And a great example that I have is client Gary. He was doing everything right. He was doing the right type of workout. He was doing the right type of nutrition. Sleep was okay, 7.5 hours, but he was very stressed. We saw his sleep quality and it wasn't good. He was having like 7.5 hours, but a lot of light sleep and low REM and deep sleep, which are the restorative phases of the sleep. So what we did is basically we did kind of a cortisol reset. We incorporated some meditation daily, 10-12 minutes meditation, deep breathing. Why? Because that will reset cortisol levels. And that's basically what we did. He was doing like 80-85% of the things correctly. We just sprinkled that with, of course, changing a little bit the workouts, the nutrient timing, and incorporating some meditation protocols in his daily life for like 8-12 minutes daily. This automatically decreased his cortisol levels, even if he wasn't aware at that moment. But doing this meditation will improve your HRV, which is the heart rate variability, and it will improve deep sleep as well and sleep. So even if you don't notice straight away, of course, our minds will wander. You're going to be trying to meditate, you're going to think of all the problems and things that you need to do. It's normal, okay? This is like a muscle. You need to train it to focus on the breathing. This will improve your sleep and help you as well break that fat loss plateau, and it will improve massively the quality of your life. Which brings me to point number 9, which is you eat 3 solid meals high in protein, low in carb, and absolutely no snacks in between. Okay, so that's usually how I structure my days. Okay, let me be honest with you. I need to be upfront because some people think, oh, you need to be in a calorie deficit. It's not just a calorie deficit. You need to understand hormones. You need to decrease your insulin levels in order to boost your testosterone, to decrease your cortisol, natural hormonal manipulation, and of course, you need still to eat less and move more, but that's just a very superficial view of what we need to do. So 3 meals, why? Because the more you eat, the more you snack, more calories, more insulin spikes. So in order for you to lose fat effectively and to optimize your health and longevity, you need to keep your insulin levels low. by focusing on protein and fats, and again, keeping carbs around the workout time, because your body will be receptive and you will absorb those carbs better. So 3 meals, for example, you break the fast at 9, then you eat at 12, then you eat at 6 or 7 p.m. That's it. It depends on your schedule, but in between, no snacks. And yes, you will be hungry sometimes. That's totally normal. For example, yesterday I had breakfast at 9:30 a.m. Then I went for a coffee shop. I drank one Americano at 10, around 10:30, and then I didn't eat until 4. I was just sitting and working, and then every 90 minutes or every 2 hours, I would stand up and walk for 10 minutes. I was hungry, yeah, because I would see everyone around me order or French toast or salmon with some, like, I don't know, you name it, you know? So I would see people ordering all these fancy things, and of course the smell of the food, I was like dying, oh my God, I feel like eating. You fight that. It's psychological. The more you say no, the stronger you're gonna be, because most people are weak. They just scroll, they just do the easy things. They just scroll, they just order food, they are snacking all the time. But you need to, in order for you to master your body and to have the body and the health that you want, improve your health, longevity, you need to be able to be strong mentally and to say no to a lot of things. And this is one of the things. You have a system in your life. You don't eat the first 3 hours of the day. You have your high protein breakfast, and then you don't eat for 3, 4, 5 hours. Black coffee, that's it. That's a non-negotiable. That's a system. You don't negotiate with yourself. Like, you have a system, implement this in your life, and you're gonna see a huge, huge difference. Which brings me to point number 10, which is sleep. Yes, sleep. I'm leaving this to the last one because, as you see, we're doing this in a chronological way from the start of the day to the beginning, but sleep should be the number one thing, okay? Because I see a lot of people with the right type of food, the right type of workouts, getting their steps and all these things, and sleeping 5 hours and a half, 6 hours, it's not enough. Why? Because during sleep, that's when your body basically regenerates. That's when your body releases growth hormone, testosterone. That's when your body builds muscle, loses fat. That's when your cognition takes place as well. All those memories, everything is, that's basically when your body resets and adapts. And if you're sleeping 6 hours, you're releasing more cortisol. Like, you don't give time for your body to regenerate, to have enough REM, to have enough deep sleep, and to properly function. And doing this over and over, it's increasing your cortisol levels. What it means is that you're gonna have what we call the cortisol belly. So you're gonna be skinny, you're gonna have that belly fat. Why? That's probably a problem with inflammation, with high cortisol. Sleeping on time will help you. And if you follow all these points that I told you before, the morning sunlight, the hydration, the meditation to control your HRV, these will inevitably lead to better sleep. You're going to feel tired by 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. because your circadian rhythm will be regulated. You're going to have proper fuel in your body. You're going to feel sharper. By that time, you're going to be sleepy. So avoid screens the last 90 minutes of the day. Don't be on your phone. Use your blue light blocking glasses. Take magnesium glycinate. But for the sake of this video, I'm not going to give you all the details in terms of sleep, because remember, the real fat loss happens when you sleep. So prioritize sleep. Everything else will fall in place. You're going to have less cortisol, more testosterone. Your hormones are not going to be messed up, because if you're sleep deprived, you're going to be craving junk food and sugars. Basically, proper sleep will make everything else easier. Now, one thing I can guarantee, if you stack these 10 habits together, your body has no choice but to burn fat. But of course, there's only so much you can do from a YouTube video. So if you want to take it further and have all the workouts, nutrition, habits tailored to you to take you to the next level, just feel free to check the link in the description below. That's where I help busy professionals get lean, strong, and high performing again.